A few weeks ago, Caesar Productions presented two beautiful and lovely plays on stage. The plays were called Flowers and Pune Highway. One of the main stars of both these plays was Mr. Rajit Kapur. He's also the producer of Rage Productions. Rajit is not only a theatre artist, but also a fine film personality. I assure you, you must have seen him in many Hindi movies, particularly Shyam Benegal's movies. But guess what? Thanks to Mr. Manoj Singh of Caesar Productions, I had a chance to chat with this gentleman, Mr. Rajit Kapur, before the two plays went on stage. Let me share my conversation with you now. I know a lot about you because I've been spying on you. No, I'm just joking. I've been following you on internet. But I'm going to ask you questions to educate our Washington metro area viewers.
Sure.
Where in India do you hail from?
I'm originally from Punjab. I was born in Amritsar, but I've lived in Bombay, or Mumbai as we now meant to call it. I'm a thoroughbred Bombayite.
Wow.
Let's put it that way.
Okay. Now, when did you get into this acting mode?
I would say this bug bit me right when I was in school. I can remember myself at the age of 6 playing the King of Hearts on stage.
Wow!
That's as far back as I can remember.
My goodness, wow, wow. Now, besides these two plays, what other plays have you done in the past?
Well, we have our own company called Rage Productions,
Yes.
and we founded this 18 years ago.
We?
Well, the three of us, myself, Rahul Dakunia, who's a writer, director, Shanaz Patel, who's also a co-producer with us and a very fine actress. And we were originally 7 of us, and now 3 of us, founder members, left. And at this stage, we have about 7 running productions, 2 of which Maryland, Washington, Virginia is likely to see this week. And yes, we tour across India, and wherever the chance or the offer is,
you take it up.
We take it up outside the country. Pune Highway will be going to Korea, South Korea next.
I hear that, I hear that.
And we just did Pune Highway last year in London.
So is this your first international tour with the plays?
In America, yes.
Okay, besides America and India, you've gone to other...
We've gone to other countries. We perform a lot in Dubai.
Oh, wow.
We have done a couple of our performances and shows in Malaysia, Singapore.
Wow.
Last year we decided to hit UK, and now we hope to go there again in 2 years.
Excellent. Now, is this the first time your play has ever come to the Washington metro area?
Yes.
First time,
Yes.
okay. And have you been here before, personally?
I have been to Washington as a young teenager of 12 and 13, and this is my next
When you
visit
never
here.
wore that tirchi topi, right?
No.
Now, tell me more. Tell me, do you like comedy? Since you're on theatre, on stage, do you like comedy? Do you like non-comical scenarios? What is your inside feeling? What do you want to produce? What do you want to project out when you're there out on stage?
I've never fixed it for myself. Something has to excite me. Something has to allow me to stretch myself as an actor. So if I find something which I think is easy, I may not get interested in it. If I feel this is difficult, oh my God, I can't do it, I'll go for it.
Wow. Now, I understand that Flowers is a one-man show.
Yes.
Am I correct?
That's right.
Have you ever done anything as such in the past?
No, this is one of, it is a very difficult piece, and
So I hear.
Gives me goose flesh every time I have to do it, so I'm like chewing my nails, toenails, everything.
So I'm going to sit in the first row and I'll go whistle. Woo! No, I'm just joking. Make you more nervous. Now, you said besides India, of course, you've traveled other places. With your plays, of course. Which is the most favorite city of yours? Now, play-wise.
Play-wise.
Yes. Where there were educated people, where they really enjoyed and where you'd say, you know what, Nilima, I'd love to go to that city again and again?
Amsterdam.
Really? Whoa.
We never expected that kind of a response there. And it was not that because we're Indians, so you had only Indians coming and seeing your show. It was a very mixed audience, and I was amazed at how they just took to not just the play, but wanted to understand the intricacies and nuances of why we did what we did, how we did.
My goodness, beautiful. Now, why is it that these two plays are in English? Why?
They have been written originally in English. In fact, Girish Karnad, who wrote Flowers,
yes,
doesn't usually write in English. Most of his
that's what
plays,
Mr. Manoj Singh told me.
His plays are always translated into English, but this is the first play that he has written in English originally.
Wow. Okay.
I think the other English play that he wrote, Broken Images, has been performed here. He wrote these two together, actually, having them meant to be performed on the same evening. But they were too heavy to put together on one evening. So then they were treated as two separate plays, and so I took Flowers, and Broken Images was done by the lady Arundhati Nag, who's also a co-producer of Flowers, and she originally did Broken Images, but in one of the Indian languages in Bangalore.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, how do you compare, since you're in both the plays, Pune Highway and Flowers, how do you compare, should I say your acting, or how do you compare the two plays?
I think Pune Highway is essentially very sort of urban, contemporary, if I may use the term naturalistic in its rhythm.
Okay.
Flowers has it almost has a classical style to it. You know, the way it's been designed.
So it required a classical actor.
I don't know about that.
Okay, we'll judge you tonight. No, I'm just joking.
Fair enough.
Wow. And go on.
And so it's got a different kind of rhythm, which is, we could call it stylized, we could call it classical, and then it's not really urban, although it's in English.
Yes.
It's not so urban in its feel and space.
Oh, okay. Speaking on a personal note, which one do you prefer? I mean, you're in both, and I know it's a difficult question, but
I can't sort of consider it as a preference. They're so different from each other.
Really?
And they require a different rhythm, they require a different body language, they a different release of energy, so they're poles apart.
Okay. Now, you as an actor can fit into any role.
I would like to.
Oh, okay. Looking at you, I can imagine. But if you were given a personal preference, what would you like? Do you want to say, hey, listen, I know I can act, I know I can fit all the roles, but you know what, if I'm given, I'd love to play a serious senator's role. Oh no, I'd love to do a comedy. What's your personal preference?
I don't have one, and that's what keeps me
going into everything.
Yeah, yeah, because the moment you start, I think for an actor, if you start fixing things, you either become complacent or you begin to use those as crutches or
fall into one side.
Fall into sometimes a pattern or sometimes a kind of a mold, which then is difficult to get out of.
How long did it take you to prepare, Riaz, actually prepare for the final product?
Well, Flowers, it's really a collaboration between 3 cities of India. Bombay, me the actor, and our group Rage Productions. Bangalore, Rangashankara Productions, and the director is from Delhi, so it was the coming together of 3 cities.
Okay.
And then I had to work in isolation with the director for about 3 weeks away from the city.
Wow.
Actually in a dance school for women called Nrityagram.
So did you learn any dancing steps?
No, we used to watch.
Oh, okay. Sometimes it's better.
Surreptitiously watch the women rehearse their dance while I was meant to be rehearsing. I'd say, no, hang on, let me watch this. But so we spent a lot of time together, Royston and myself, in trying to tackle the text And what was amazing, we realized at the end of the experience that we were both so scared when we went into it. Nor did he, nor did I know what we're getting into, how we're going to approach it, what are we going to do, and that's what really made it challenging.
Wow, wow. So you'd say, what, 3 weeks into the final, before the final?
Yeah, and then we had our opening night in Bangalore as part of a theatre festival there.
Wow.
And then we took it.
How was the response?
Frighteningly amazing.
Really? Whoa, well, congratulations. My goodness, congratulations.
And on the other hand, Pune Highway actually came about as a result of a workshop.
Okay.
Because we do a regular program called the Writers' Block Program, which is in collaboration with the Royal Court London, British Council, Jindal Arts Foundation. And every 2 years we have writers coming in from all over the country who are selected by a process. And then they write plays as part of the workshop. And then we, as our theatre production company,
Rage,
ensures that every play that's written gets performed for at least 3 performances in the city, and then the writer or the local producer who's given that job is then allowed to take the show and do what they want with it.
Oh, beautiful.
So Pune Highway came out of a workshop.
Oh, and what, still 3 weeks into before the final product got released?
Yes, actually that was also about 2-3 weeks where it was part of the Writers' Block Festival.
Okay.
And then, it's strange, but there's been no looking back. Pune Highway, we never expected it would go all over the world.
My goodness. Now, I had interviewed Mr. Manoj Singh about 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
And he said that one of these 2 plays is celebrating, or is it Rage that's celebrating the 100th city, or?
Well, Pune Highway is
it is.
almost
Okay.
completing 100 shows.
In DC? Or did it already?
No, probably will be.
Oh, wow. Excellent, excellent. Now, you as an actor, you've acted in so many plays and you've been involved in theatre. Do you have any favorite play so far which you can say, you know what, I love that play because that's where my acting was the best. That's where my heart belongs. Any favorites?
Yes, there is a favorite. There's a specific reason for that. There's a play that Shanaz, who's my colleague and co-producer,
Okay.
there's a show that we do together called Love Letters. It's written by A.R. Gurney from America. And we have been performing this. We don't do regular performances, but we have been doing this for the last 18 years.
Okay.
And we still do it.
So you do what, episodes then?
No, we do the full play.
Yeah, but it's written in different episodes, right? It's not the same play that's repeated over and over again.
Yes.
It is? Oh, wow.
So I think, of course,
Love Letters.
we were rather...
Where do you guys get all these beautiful, engaging titles? Love Letters and Pune Highway and...
I mean, Love Letters, at one time, 18 years ago, we would, because we both aged from about 8 to 58 in the play. And when we began the show, we used to worry about Act 2, that, oh my God, we have to look older. And now we worry about Act 1, oh my God, we got to look younger.
Now, being an actor, let me ask you this. Who is, in the Indian scenario, who is one playwright that you look upon? Did you say, you know what? For example...
Playwright?
Yes. An author.
I don't know, because, you know, I think it depends on the phases that one has been through. I remember as a student, I used to read a lot I used to love Tennessee Williams, for example.
That's, no wonder I knew I liked you for some reason, because that's my answer.
You know, so having read and seen so many versions of
Tennessee Williams.
Class Menagerie, Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. So there was that phase of Tennessee Williams, and there was another phase of trying to read more Indian playwrights. So one was sort of fascinated with Tendulkar, who's a known Indian playwright.
Yes, yes.
Then we have Girish Karnad, whose classical symbolic work, you know, also attracted me as a youngster. And now of late, I think it's some of the 20, 25-year-olds who are coming up with such fascinating scripts for us to read and perform that one is looking forward to that next generation to give you that meat to explore.
So with the passage of time and as you ripen with age, your views and of different author and different plays and different, it changes.
Yes.
I mean, that's how I read you. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
All right. How about looking at the American playwriters? I mean, no, better still, let me rephrase the question. Have you seen Bombay Dreams?
No.
You haven't seen it, okay. It was staged here. It was, of course, a marvelous production. How do you compare the Indian theatre to American theatre?
For one, there's a lot more money that goes into theatre here. We don't have that kind of money.
Money meaning a stage setup and...
Yes, so your production values and the infrastructure, firstly,
yes.
is absolutely marvelous here, whether it's the National Theatre of London or whether it's West End or Broadway, but the kind of infrastructure available here is amazing. Of course, that means money, it means production value, it means a certain professionalism, it means professional attitude. Things are taken far more seriously.
Right.
Than for us sometimes back home, where if we tell them we're a professional group, they say, yeah, but okay, you can make compromises, you can make adjustments. And we say, no, this is how it is, this is how our show is, I'm sorry. We cannot do it out on the street or behind the bush.
Exactly.
This is the way it's designed. So that sometimes is difficult for us to explain, because we're trying to be as professional as we can.
Have you ever thought of doing any American plays? Or would you do it if an opportunity were to arise?
Of course, I would like to, but at this stage we're also trying to encourage playwrights in English back home in India to write and create something. And I think Pune Highway is a perfect example of contemporary writing, which is so Indian yet universal.
What is your relationship like with the director, the writer, the producer? You all see this, are here, and they say, here's your script, Rajit. Yeah, okay, perfect. This is the way. Yeah, definitely. Or would you say, no, you know what? Are you one of those types, you know? Say, I
don't know how to define it for theatre, because I'm also a producer, and my colleagues are actors, writers, directors. So we work a lot together. We'd love to have the writer with us, working with us through the process of rehearsal. And the kind of exchange of energies and vibrations in the theatrical world is something I cherish. It's not really just that opening night or the show, but it's the process of going through the period of rehearsals, and what you share with your team and with your colleagues is what really makes it worthwhile. And that process is wonderful.
That touches your heart.
It does.
Wow.
And whereas for film, it's very different. When I work as an actor on film, I think I draw lines.
Anyone would. let me ask you this. You're an actor, you're a producer.
Yes.
Which role do you prefer? One over the other, or do you say, no, I like both equally?
I think somewhere the lines have crossed and merged. So at one time my colleagues would say, what are you doing? Why are you packing? Because I have a fetish for packing, I must admit. And I said, this is our show. It has to be like that. They say, yeah, but you're the lead actor. And that doesn't matter.
So
I've learned lifting tables and chairs right from the beginning, and I expect the rest of the team.
Now, let's travel towards Bollywood India.
Okay.
Okay. Tell us your experience with the film industry.
I have been involved with the film industry for the last 18 years or so. My first break came on film with Mr. Shyam Benegal, where I played the lead in this film called Suraj Ka Satwaं Ghoda. And I've had the good fortune and honor of being in all his films since then. I'm not against running around trees or our commercial pot boilers in any way. But I feel at that time the whole approach to producing a film was different. Now the business of filmmaking
it's completely changed.
It's totally changed.
It's just like music. You know, music, look at the classical songs that Lataji used to sing and look at the music now. So it's just like, I completely agree with you. It's changed with time. It's changed.
And there
with
will
time.
be changes. I mean, 10 years from now, it will be very different. But I think a lot of producers understand the fact that you need a bound script today, understand production planning today. They're waking up to that. Budgeting is far more important than it was. And the other plus side is that a lot of independent filmmakers are getting the chance or are taking the chance to explore new subjects and new content. That's very positive.
Wow, excellent. Now, besides Shyam Benegal's movies, have you been or were you ever approached by other movie producers, writers, directors?
Yes, I do work on films every year, but I restrict the number.
So you pick and choose?
Yes. It doesn't matter to me about the role and big or small, but I manage to do at least 3 to 4 films a year.
Beautiful. What's in the pipeline?
Well, one of the films where I think it's an ensemble cast has just been released back home called Shaitan.
Oh, okay.
And there is Dipti Naval's directorial debut in which I'm playing a central character which is called Do Paise Ki Dhoop Charani Ki Barish. I think they're looking for an end of July or August release.
Beautiful.
I don't know, it's not in my hands.
We'll look out for it and see how you do in Shaitan.
Sure.
Now, another very quick question for you. Of course, we know there's your superb actor, and we know we've seen you on stage, we've seen you in movies. Rajit Kapur, personally speaking, what does he like? Stage, in front of the camera, in Bollywood productions, or off the camera, entertaining the world on stage, on theatre, being the centre?
I think I would have to admit that being on stage is a high that is unparalleled.
But it's one-time deal.
That's why.
You entertain me, I like you. If you don't entertain me right, I throw tomatoes at you. You still think, you've got guts, baby. My goodness. Wow, beautiful. If I were to ask you one thing that you would change in the theatre world today, be it Indian, American, European, Chinese, Japanese. Japanese is beautiful too. What would you change? Anything?
Wow, what a question.
Only Washington people
ask.
That's
a wonderful question, and you've stumped me. I have to admit.
You thought you had all the answers.
I know, and I don't have an answer to this one, but God, it's kept me thinking, what would I change? I think I'd have to look into myself. What would I change first within myself rather than expect a change from X, Y, Z outside? It would be to tackle more original scripts.
You know what? I didn't expect you to give that. Self-critique, how nice. Beautiful. Very well put. Very well put. You're completely a diplomat.
Am I? I
Very diplomatic
My friends
answers.
tell me that I have to learn the art of diplomacy.
No, my goodness, no. Getting away from Pune Highway, flowers, theatre productions, I'd like to touch upon your personal life.
Shoot.
Are you married?
No, I'm not married.
All right. Do you intend to get married? Or are you just married to the theatre?
Well, as of now, yes. There was a time when one would sort of really think about it seriously. I don't think about it anymore. Let it happen when it has to happen.
Zindagi bas, let it go.
Absolutely.
And my final question to you is, whether you're in movies, whether you're on theatre, do you ever get emotionally attached?
To a character?
No. Actually, yes, to a character. Mm-hmm. You know, I asked this question to the actress Sushmita Sen.
Yes.
And she actually, rather than giving me an answer, she had tears coming down her eyes. And I said, what's wrong? And she goes, you know what? It just struck me, that question. So I'd like to fire the same question to you. Do you ever get emotionally attached to a character
Yes.
that you have played or
It does
are playing?
happen. It does happen. And I think it's also the responsibility of an actor to realize it when that happens and not allow it to affect you when that happens. It doesn't happen now so often. I guess with experience you learn to switch off. But there are times when you do get hung over emotionally by a character that you have played. So sometimes it could be for a few hours, sometimes it could be for 2 days. You can't really define it, I'm sorry.
But then you are able to snap out of it.
One should learn to
No,
snap out.
not one. You.
Every actor.
Beautiful. Tell me a little bit about the music that's attached to all your plays. You do have music, right?
Yes. In these 2 plays that you're about to see here, the music has been originally composed, by in Flowers, a gentleman from Bangalore,
Okay.
Amit, and in Pune Highway, the writer-director, we had one of his friends to compose it. So we do try and get, of course, using the good services of friends in the industry to originally compose, and it always adds a freshness. Unless like in a place like Love Letters where the music really signifies the decades and the passage of time. So it had to be a selection of songs that represent the passage of time. So there was no composing in that. But we try as far as possible to get something fresh in.
And since you're sitting here in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., you're in the land of United States of America, our adopted country, what is your favorite American play that you have seen so far?
I don't know about seen, but I have a soft corner for Glass Menagerie, having performed it and done it and having seen so many versions of it.
I knew you would say that.
You knew that?
Because I knew.
Am I so predictable?
No, you're not predictable, but knowing that you acted,
And that was maybe one of the first plays that I did in college, in university. So it has a special place in my heart.
You've kept that in your soft corner of the heart.
But I do like to see, I'm forgetting what I saw last year on stage here with Hugh Jackman and Daniel Craig. Oh God, I'm just forgetting the name.
In New York?
In New York.
In New York, okay.
Something, The Rain.
And
it was so contemporary, and just these 2 actors, very minimal set and production value. And they said, wow, we literally come full circle, where you just have enough to convey what you want to. Because one was so used to seeing musicals and extravagant productions in New York, that then to see something which was more stark was fascinating and so convincing by these 2 men.
It took you.
Absolutely.
Wow, wow. Looking at your acting in Bollywood movies, if I were to say, close your eyes and choose the best actor, male, best actress, female, what would you say?
I wouldn't say anything.
Again, you're being diplomatic.
No, I'm not being diplomatic. I've never
So you think everybody's a best actress or everybody's a best actor?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying there are
Besides you?
No, I never said that either. I think there are good performances and average performances and bad performances. Yes, you would say that, X, Y, Z may have given a number of good performances. But I've never sort of believed in numero uno kind of game, that this one is the best. And maybe because of coming from the stage when you as actors know that, today my colleague would probably give a fantastic performance on stage. Tomorrow it could be me in the same play. Because that varies sometimes with show to show, and somebody is very good on a particular day and may not be that good on another day. So coming from...
but you know what? When you see the movie at the end,
yes,
you can tell, hey, he is a superb actor, no matter what movie he goes into.
That's fine. I would say that, yeah, this guy is a good performer. But I can never say, oh, he's the best actor in Bollywood. No, I can't.
Well, I would not give you a prize for that answer.
No, don't.
No, you don't deserve it. You don't deserve it. Well, before I let you go, I know other people are waiting to get on screen. I'd like for you to face the camera.
Sure.
If there's a budding actor, a stage actor, in the Washington metro area, what advice do you have for them?
You know, when we're doing workshops with young budding actors and actresses, we always talk about going for the truth, believability, and conviction. But at the bottom of it all is go with your heart. You can't go wrong.
Beautiful. And I'd like to conclude by you having to give us one that you think is the most powerful line in Flowers. It's a one-man show. It's all you. It's I, me, myself. It's Rajit. So
you've got me thinking.
I must be a terrible interviewer because every time I ask you, you have to think a lot.
Yeah, you ask me such difficult questions, Nilima.
Well, next time when you say Nilima Mehra is coming, you say, I don't know if
I better be prepared.
I don't know if I can stand this woman anymore.
If I think of one line to...
A powerful line that we can finish this interview with. I won't ask you about Pune Highway. I just want to know from Flowers. Are you trying to memorize your script now?
Yeah, I'm trying to go back into my script and see which is a powerful line that I could use for camera. God damn it. What is that line? I'm stumped, Nilima.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
But I'm not giving up. Hang on.
And I shall not let you go.
Don't put that camera off, okay? If we believe that God has long hair, He will have long hair.
Excellent. I must say I had the most wonderful time conversing with you. Tirchi Topi Wala. Mr. Love Letters.
Thank you so much.
You're very dynamic, you're very volatile, and you're very energetic, and I completely enjoyed my time with you.
Thank you, Nilima. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
And good luck with the rest of the tours. And
I hope you're coming to see the show.
I'll be in the front row and I'm going to whistle at you. No, I'm just joking. But good luck with the rest of the tour.
Thank you.
And when you come back, do look us up, and I'd like to, perhaps meet you again and
sure, wonderful.
And work something out.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Nilima.
you, sir.
Bye-bye. Ciao, ciao. If we believe that God has long hair, He will have long hair. That's a line from Flowers. I'm Rajit Kapur, sitting here in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., and you are watching Chitrmala.